What have I been up to on the railroad? Why does my railroad look kind of like a mess right now? We're going to talk about it right now here on Model Railroad Talk. So stick around because we're going to get this episode on the tracks. Welcome to this video, this update video for the Kansas City Southern Iowa Eastern Division Railroad. Figured I'd do a layout update for you guys. I haven't done a layout update for a while. I've been doing a lot of how to. I am going to be doing another one, which we'll talk about here soon, but I figured I would jump on here and kind of give everybody a little bit of an update on what I've been up to and that kind of thing. Since the last video, since I've been back from the train show, a lot of the train show, before that, I was getting prepared for the train show and helping Eric get ready for it and stuff. So what have I been up to? So for starters, we're going to move over to my swing gate and lift gate. So here we are. When I came back from doing the Lincoln area train show, I was like, you know what? I've been doing a lot of stuff for other people and not really working on my railroad or running trains. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to run some trains. Well, I soon found out that over time, my upper level kind of did the same thing, which I have that lifted right now. As you can see, it's not sitting down here. But even my lower level was the same thing. My tracks I had a huge gap on this side, but on the other side, the rails were buttoned up to each other, and I had glued the rails and everything else, and on the lower level, but I never did the PC board tie thing. And if you look right here, you can see it through here, and then up here you can see the difference in the colors, and same with over here. What I found with my upper level is by doing PC board ties on the ends in certain key places, it keeps the rails from expanding into or contracting from the layout side. So basically I had to go through and rip up all the track and relay it down and cut out ties, put in PC board ties. Now, I know what some people might say is those ties are way out of scale. At this point, I don't care. I would rather have functionality over, fashion, I guess, if you will, looks, because I'd rather it to be functional, hold up, do what I want it to do, than and not have issues. And I really think once I get my everything weathered and whatnot, it will be not that you won't be able to tell it as easy. Now, something else you may have noticed, a couple video excerpts before this, is my Casey's. Yes, it is coming along a little more. I've done some more work on it. If you notice, I have actually street lights in now and wired up, and I'm going to turn the camera around and zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what else I've done. All right, as you can see here, I've got the street lights in. I've got them around because I wanted it to be as close to prototypical as possible for the one particular Casey's I'm modeling. Yes, I still have to put lights on the outside, and I'm actually working on 3D printing a light housing for that. If you look right back here, you'll see a car that I got. I don't know, I think I've got like 4 or 5 cars with headlights and taillights already in them, LEDs, off of wish.com for, I don't know, they were under $10. And then if you look, and if this will let me zoom in on the interior here of the Casey's, no, that is not an actual built interior. That is actually an interior that I took some photos that I found online and ended up in Photoshop putting them together and basically printing it and putting it in there. So I think it turned out fairly well myself. So I'm pretty excited. I've worked on that some as well. And for the record, for those that either have commented or noticed it on previous videos when I've showed my Casey's, yes, my gas prices have dropped. So the original gas prices, that's what came from the kit, and I just stuck it on there, and finally I got around to actually printing some new stickers, in a sense, to put on to change the gas prices. So for those of you that have noticed it or maybe commented in the past about it, yes, gas prices have dropped at my Casey's and in my town. And for those that I guess for those that when you're coming down the stairs, this is actually outside here. I have actually did some backdrop buildings. Um, this right here I found online. It's corn that I printed off, and the backdrop picture that's right here and all the way around the back, I actually took that picture or several pictures when I was at work and um, photoshopped them together and that kind of thing and printed it out. This is a craftsman kit that I built, and I ended up getting these little lights all the way around. Get past my support there. I got those off Wish as well, and I think it really adds a nice feature to it. This actually is going to have a road that goes across the lift gate that goes into another area over here. So yeah, let's move to that. So that road I just showed you, it's going to come across right here, and this is actually going to be a storefront here. And over here is this is actually going to be a hobby shop that I am, obviously I'm still working on, but the road's going to go up through here. The road's going to curve, come off towards us, and it's going to disappear off into the backdrop. So as you can see, back here, I've been working on some buildings and whatnot for the background. I have, and I probably showed this before, this building right here I put up to see, because I was trying to figure out if I wanted just a landscape hill or if I wanted an actual building, and I'm really liking the building because this is going to be a city scene or city layout. So there's going to be very little, I guess, green. There's going to be green, but it's going to be structures instead of hills and stuff like that. And then down below here, if you look off, and if I can get my camera to hold here, look off, there we go. Over here, I printed off some pictures from scrap recycling facilities and put them up because this is where I'm going to have my scrap facility off this little spur right here. All right, now going back to the Lincoln Area Train Show, I picked up actually 4 locomotives, and I'm working on getting decoders in them. But these right here are 2 of them that I got. They're SD 60s, Kansas City Southern, obviously gray ghost scheme. They are lifelike Proto 2000. So when I had the opportunity to jump on them, I got them for a really good deal and brand new. I jumped on it. Obviously, I'm trying to fill my railroad up. I don't necessarily need any more locomotives at this point on the railroad. I need more rail cars than anything, but I couldn't pass up the deal. And the 2 other locomotives I have, while they are CNW, Chicago Northwestern, they're I got them for 2 reasons. A, I've always liked the Chicago Northwestern paint scheme, the green and yellow, but also for our good friend Eric over at Warbond's channel. That's where he kind of started his career of railroading, was with this Chicago Northwestern. And I really want to have something on here to where, I know he's talked about, he has a grain train that he built actually in HO scale. And he was talking about bringing that over. Unfortunately, his locomotives, to be able to pull that, they don't, they're old DC, and I don't know if I want to mess with it or if he even wants to go this far to put decoders in it. So I thought, you know what, killing two birds with one stone. Yeah, no, it doesn't really go with my scheme, but guess what? It's my railroad. But the CNW locomotives, I figured that way he comes over, he brings his cars, he can run his grain train, that kind of thing. Now we're going to move on to um, so a few things I'm really excited about as far as rail cars. So, all right, so here we are. We're getting to the rail cars now. So if you listen to our audio podcast at all, whether it be through YouTube, which doesn't, unfortunately, it's not uploading previous um, audio podcasts, is only from when I finally got it connected. But if you go to our website, www.ModelRailroadTalk.com, you can go and there's links to every episode up to the latest one out for the public. And there, not that long ago, I had Alan Zimmerman on from AllensNscaleWorld, and he does a lot of N scale stuff, but he does amazing weathering work. Well, the Lincoln Area Train Show, he was going to be there, or he was there, but I told him I was going to be there. He asked me if I wouldn't mind bringing some rail cars over to him so he can weather and he get them back to me. And so I said, sure, why not? Let's have you weather some of these rail cars for me. And I know he does good work, but I had never seen it really firsthand. Well, I took these over and I just got these back from him the other day. But this is one car I brought him, and they in kits. I got to build them, and that's on my agenda for this week to get these built. But this was a white Rock Island boxcar that he weathered for me. Um, to show you, and he does 3 stages of weathering, like light, heavy, and I guess kind of medium. Uh, I'm going to start out basically by saying, wow. I knew he was good at what he did because I'd seen the pictures, but that one that you just saw was like a medium weathering. Here is more of a heavier weathering. Like I said, obviously this is a kit I got to build, but the fadedness of it, it's just, it's awesome. When this box showed up yesterday, I was excited. I got it opened up and I was in complete awe in his weathering skills. He does excellent. Here's another card. This one I would say is more light weathering than anything. He even put some graffiti on the end of this bulkhead, which, Alan, if you ever watch this, excellent work. Painted the wood boards to simulate actual wood and left the steel bracing, the right color. Now, I have a few more to show you. While I was there, I purchased, so in his clinic there was a railroad club selling cars for $5 to where people could weather along with him. And so I ended up purchasing, they had, I think, 8 left. I ended up purchasing them all. And with knowing that Alan was going to need some of them for his last clinic on the last day, which fine, whatever. So he used them, and he took them home, weathered them up, finished the weathering because he was showing different techniques, and sent them back to me. Now, here are now, mind you, these cars, they do need some work. That's like, I just pulled this one off the truck, fell off. I knew that purchasing them, I have to do coupler boxes and stuff like that. But that's one side of this one that he did. And I mean, just like right here where the paint is peeling and stuff like that, amazing work. Here's another one that, and yes, I realize a lot of these are the same number, which I'm going to change the numbers on, but like right here, I mean, it literally looks like the paint's peeling off there. And I actually had to feel it to see if he did something, but it's not. It's amazing work that he has done with these cars. So if you're wondering and you want to reach out to him, you can find them on Facebook, AllensNscaleWorld on Facebook, or you can email them AllensNscaleWorld@gmail.com. So that's definitely one thing I am excited about. So yeah. All right, now a little bit more about weathering. So I learned about the weathering stuff that he uses, and I'll grab that. But I tried it on my own, and this is just the first initial. So this side you can kind of see where it ran down, which I'm fine with. Down at the bottom here is no paint and stuff. But when I flip it around and on the top, just that's just one coat, just the start of weathering. It's pretty amazing. I have two different colors, and like I said, I'll grab it. But here's another boxcar. I use that same one on this boxcar. I'm definitely going to have to use the little bit darker one. But yeah, the stuff that he's using is amazing. And the stuff he's using is Rail Center Natural Effects. Basically, they are washes. These are the two that I have. And the first two, the last two cars I showed you, I've used this one so far. But this one is a soil wash. It's darker, which I think will do better on the darker car. But I'm still experimenting with them. While I sat in Allen's clinics, I was also trying to record for the podcast here. And so I didn't get to pay attention to every little detail he does. But I know that's made a believer out of me, that stuff. So you might check that stuff out. But that's kind of shows you what it is. And all these are just washes, basically doing Allen's technique that I learned from his clinic he did. Put it on. Once it's on there, after it starts drying, you take a big old fluffy brush and just keep working it until you get what you like. Now on to one of the final things to show you. And I know I've mentioned this before, but these pipe loads, they're from Scott's Trains. He makes these and actually makes them and sells them. And he sent me some for my cars. Excellent job on those. I have some on, I've got some in gondolas. I got some on flat cars, bulkhead flats, and I actually got one load on my semi. And right here, you can see I've got the one load on my semi. This is let me be able to grab this the right way. This is the semi truck and trailer. I actually 3D printed, but I think Scott's pipe loads look good on there. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can find, he has an online, it's the online train show on Facebook. You can look him up through that, or if need be, you can reach out to me and I can get you the link to that. Or if you'd like to contact Scott directly, you can reach him at scottlove57@gmail.com. He sells all sorts of, he's a purchaser and reseller of model train stuff. Very upstanding, fantastic guy. Very trustworthy. He's been on our audio podcast a couple of times, and he's going to be on again soon. He is very honest. He wants to make sure his customers are happy with what they purchase. He gets certain things in, especially with kits. Once he gets the kits, he actually goes through the kits to make sure that they have all the parts needed. And if they don't have all the parts, he goes and finds the parts to put in them. If he can't, he doesn't sell it, or he sells it as is, but he is very specific with detail on his stuff. So check him out for sure. Yeah, he's definitely a good one to have in your back pocket arsenal for model railroad supplies. All right, so now to the end of the video, we get into the good stuff. So remember, Broadway Limited, check them out. They are a supporter of this podcast. You can check them out at www.broadway-limited.com. They've got some great stuff over there. Some people, you hear different things, but Broadway Limited is one of the oldest model railroad manufacturers of locomotives that's been putting sound into their locomotives. And like anything, they just, any company, they just keep getting better and better. Also, along with that, check out their conductors club. It is well worth the money to be able to get the discounts on what a club member gets. I ordered 2 locomotives off there, and I pre-ordered, that is, but once they come in, taking what I spent on the $30 for a year, $30, it's not that much. That $30 ended up saving me basically $200. So in the end, I'm $170 ahead on these 2 locomotive purchases. So, and that's direct from Broadway Limited. So check them out. Like I said, www.broadway-limited.com. But we're going to have them on here. But also, don't forget, in the link below, until April 26th, 2025, I have to put that on there because I keep telling myself, if somebody watches this 2 years down the road, but April 26th, 2025 will be the last day that you will be able to submit your name, or do the submission form for our Broadway Limited giveaway. They've graciously given us a gift certificate to give away for their online store. In the link below, or you can go to our website, www.modelrailroadtalk.com. At the top, top left of it, you will see, or in the menu, whatever, if you're looking on your phone, you'll see giveaway. Click on it. It will take you to our form. Real simple form. We just need name, phone number, email address, and then we have a couple questions of basically how'd you hear about the podcast and that kind of thing, just for us. But we get that, we put it into our spreadsheet basically, and when we go to draw after the 26th, we'll do a random number, and whatever number of line it pops up on, that person wins. So we're excited about that. Remember, it's 1 entry per person. Now, if you are interested in getting a second entry, you can go over to patreon.com/ModelRailroadTalk and become a premium supporter, and you will get a second entry automatically. We do offer a 7-day free trial on a couple of the plans on there. Once you get past that 7-day trial, we will enter you in for your second entry. You can also go over to buymeacoffee.com/ModelRailTalk, and any support that comes through there, they will get a second entry. But this is 1 entry per person unless you're a premium supporter. So let's get that going. Our list keeps growing every day of people who are entering. It's free to enter. We're not going to bombard you with spam once we get your information, that kind of thing. So to those that have already entered, thank you, and I really appreciate it. And on a final note, we have hit over 900 subscribers. By the time this video comes out, I think we're at like 915 subscribers. We're getting so close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. I'm so excited and so thankful to you all who have subscribed to my channel, who have commented and liked my videos. Thank you. Also to those that listen to the audio podcast, that is now finally, I was able to get it linked up to where it's on YouTube as well. Thank you. Thank you all for your support in that aspect. It's exciting, and it's hits here, knowing that there's that many people out there that enjoy this style of content. I truly believe in the ideology of Model Railroad Talk to be teach, promote, and inspire those that are either new coming into the hobby, or thinking about coming into the hobby, those that are new to the hobby, or those that have been in the hobby. I just, from an everyday guy perspective of model railroading and how I do things, that's really what this whole production's about. It all started with just me wanting to share my love of the hobby, and it grew to this. So all those that have subscribed up to this point and that will eventually subscribe, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. We are coming up on our 104th episode on our audio podcast, and we're going to have several guests on for that episode, special episodes. That will be out, I want to say, April 26th, I think, or May 8th, somewhere in there, is where that episode will come out. But that would, in a sense, signify 2 years of the audio podcast. So thank you to all those that have been on the audio podcast and making the numbers climb over there. And thank you to those of you those of you that do come on, if you listen to this after you've subscribed, or watch this video after you subscribe. Thank you for all your support up to this point. And enough with that. I'm going to quit gabbing and get to building some rail cars so I can show you the rail cars that Allen from AllensNscaleWorld weathered for me, because I'm excited to get them on. I've got decoders to install. I got locomotives to program. I got scenery to build. So I got a lot going on. And here's the other thing. On one final note, a little early, but in October, October 18th, I believe it is. I don't have the printout in front of me. Iowa City, Iowa, Hawkeye Model Railroad Club's train show. It's Sunday only. I will have more information on it coming up on our audio podcast and on the video, but this will be our Model Railroad Talk's first official booth, table, whatever you want to call it, at a train show. So as that time gets closer, I know we're going to have somebody on from the Hawkeye Model Railroad Club, probably at least once, if not twice, talking about that and the Hawkeye Model Railroad Club. And if you are going to be in the area around that time, swing into the show and say hi. We're already in preparations for getting things ready for the show, even though that's several months away now, but there's a lot behind the scenes that has to happen, plus keeping the podcast and everything going. So we're excited about that as well. So thank you for watching. And like we always say, keep your train on the tracks.